the unseen majesty, earning the view at Kaieteur Falls. This isn't a postcard. It's not a desktop background. The most rewarding places on Earth aren't always the easiest to get to. The greatest rewards, we think, are earned, not given. So we accepted the challenge to reach one of the most spectacular and remote waterfalls on the planet. The air is so thick you can practically drink it. Every step is a fight against mud that wants to swallow your boots whole. Your lungs are burning, your muscles are screaming. And then, you hear it, a low, distant thunder that isn't thunder at all. Our planet is covered in waterfalls. We've all seen the famous ones. Deep in the Amazon rainforest of Guyana lies Kaieteur Falls. It's nearly 5 times taller than Niagara Falls, the largest single-drop waterfall in the world by volume. To see it, you have 2 main options: a grueling overland trek or a small charter plane. The journey is the destination. We chose the hard path, a 5-day expedition. The trip to Kaieteur doesn't start at a trailhead. It starts in Georgetown. Our first leg was a bone-rattling 8-hour bus ride south into the interior. We were headed for Madia, a gritty mining town that feels like the last outpost of civilization. From Madia, we piled into a 4x4, lurching and sliding our way toward the Pitaro River. The air changed. It got heavier, filled with the scent of damp earth and flowers we couldn't name. At the riverbank, we met our guides and loaded our gear into a long, narrow riverboat. The river was our highway, a winding brown path through a solid wall of green. We saw no other boats, no signs of modern life, just us, the river, and the vast, breathing rainforest. We passed smaller cascades like Amatuk and Waterfall Falls, which were like appetizers for the main event. The days were long and hypnotic, and we spent the nights in hammocks, listening to the jungle come alive. The name Kaieteur means Old Man's Fall, a place of immense spiritual power. After 2 days on the river, our boat couldn't go any further. We'd reached the base of the Kaieteur mountain at Tukit. From here on, it was all on foot. The hike from Tukit to the top is only a few miles, but they're some of the most challenging you could imagine. One section is even nicknamed, "Oh My God Mountain," for its brutal incline. The humidity feels like a physical weight, soaking your clothes in minutes. But the struggle was broken up by moments of pure wonder. This is one of the most biodiverse regions on the planet. We spotted the brilliant Guyana cock of the rock, a bird so orange it looked like a flame darting through the trees. We learned about the golden rocket frog, a tiny amphibian no bigger than a thumbnail. Were there moments of doubt? Absolutely. Times when the heat, the exhaustion felt like too much. You start asking yourself if it's worth it, wondering why you didn't just take the plane. But you push on, driven by the promise of what's ahead and the camaraderie of your team. On the morning of our 3rd day of hiking, something changed. Above the constant hum of the jungle, a new sound started to emerge. At first, it was just a faint, low vibration, something you felt in your chest more than you heard. But as we climbed higher, it grew into a deep, powerful rumble. The roar of Kaieteur. That sound changes everything. It's a shot of pure adrenaline that erases all the fatigue. The air grew thick with a fine mist that settled on our skin, the first real relief from the jungle heat. Our guide pointed, and we saw it for the first time through a break in the trees, just a sliver of the torrent. The final approach is a series of viewpoints along the cliff's edge. And here's what really sets Kaieteur apart. There are no guardrails. Nothing separates you from that 741-foot drop. It forces you to respect the power you're witnessing. You inch your way to the edge, heart pounding, and look down into the abyss. What's the most challenging hike you've ever done? Was the view at the end worth the struggle? And then, you arrive at the main viewpoint. You step out onto the rock ledge, and you finally see it, all of it. The Pitaro River, hundreds of feet wide, simply vanishes over the edge of the world. The water doesn't just fall. It explodes downward in a single, unbroken curtain of immense power. Rainbows form and dance in the spray. The sound is an all-encompassing roar that vibrates through your entire body. You stand there, a tiny figure on the edge of this colossal force, and you feel completely humbled. Often, the only people there are the ones who came on your small tour. It feels like you have this primeval wonder almost to yourself. We watched as Kaieteur swifts darted in and out of the massive curtain of water. This is a world unto itself, and we had earned our place in it. The physical exhaustion is still there, but it's overshadowed by a huge sense of accomplishment. As we retraced our steps through the jungle and down the river, the world just looked different, sharper, more vibrant. So, why do so few people make it to some of the world's most spectacular waterfalls? Because it's hard. It requires effort, patience, and a willingness to step way outside your comfort zone. These places aren't built for convenience. They're a challenge, posed by the planet itself. But for those who accept it, the reward is something you can't buy. It's a connection to the raw, untamed power of the natural world. They remind you of what you're capable of, and show you a world that is wild, pristine, and waiting. Was it worth it? Every single step. These are the places that change you. The greatest views really do come after the hardest climbs, and this was a view we will carry with us forever. If you believe the journey is just as important as the destination, subscribe to our channel. Thanks for coming along with us. Now, get out there and find your own adventure.